Hey, what's up, everyone? This is going to be a review for a game called The Last Campfire. It's actually by Hello Games, the same people that brought us No Man's Sky. So I was a little bit hesitant to actually start playing this game or even try and purchase it and not know what to expect. But guys, I had to let you know that um, Hello Games did a wonderful job with this, and this is definitely a game that will go down in history, at least in my mind, as one of the best told stories, one of the best new characters out there. And my goodness, like I said, I was really hesitant to give Hello Games a chance with this one. Yes, guys, this is a game that you should probably check out for yourselves. This, I give it a score of 9 out of 10. So let's find out why next. So in the last campfire, you're this little guy called Ember, and you actually are following your little buddies on this rowing, and you get distracted. And the game is actually about having to find your way back, finding your way back home, so to speak. And oh my goodness, this is one of the most wonderful little tales that you can actually play. It's about a 6-7 hour long journey, which is not too bad, and you have a lot of fun along the way. And yeah, you have some wonderful little characters in there. Ember is, in my opinion, not just a PlayStation icon and character, but for gaming in general. Ember is a wonderful little character that I cared a lot about before the end of this actual journey. So, guys, this is like I said, a wonderful little game, and actually, this is the first game that I ever platinumed. So let's talk about the presentation. Presentation is a nice little game where it has these cute little aesthetics, wonderful little places where you're not going to be blown away graphically speaking, but overall it's just one of the best games that you can actually see visually. It's a sort of like puzzle game and absolutely wonderful. All right, guys, let's talk about sound.
Ember froze, almost too frightened to look away. Ember chuckled. The dangerous plant was no match for a hungry piggy.
Sound, it has some wonderful just play on music, a wonderful atmosphere. You can hear every little crunch, every little environment, spider webs breaking, uh, columns of rock coming down. And narration, there isn't a lot of the spoken dialogue in this game. There are some little mutterings like, "Meow, meow, meow, meow," but the narrator, wonderful. I don't know who the actress is, but wonderfully, beautifully done. I would have given this game a 10 out of 10 for perfection, but there are some optimization. There's some little pop in. There's some things that could have done a little bit better to, when you load the game, where we wouldn't have all these little hiccups here and there. But sound, oh my goodness, the way the girl narrates this game is absolutely wonderful. Absolutely adds more to her character of her narrating this game. And I have to say, it's nothing against her. It's absolutely wonderful. I loved it. It kind of goes hand in hand with what the story is all about. You're lost and on your way, trying to find your way back home, and you're finding little buddies, that have given up along the way. Either they're sad, they're tired, they're depressed, they're lost, they just don't want to have the will to go on. And this is what brings this game to life. Absolutely wonderful.
Take it into life.
You can hear the little cloth and the little feet running around and stuff like that. It just sounds so perfectly. The score, the musical score, is one of a kind. Absolutely wonderful. Atmosphere, wonderful. Now let's talk about the gameplay. Gameplay is actually really fun. There is only one point where I got so super frustrated with the puzzles, because this is what you're going to be doing, solving puzzles to get your little buddies back on the road, so to speak, so they can go back and finish their journey. Aesthetically, it reminds me a lot of these older, like these games like Journey, the games that are these it does have a little bit of Wind Waker to it. It has a nice, beautiful presentation. But the gameplay, like I said, there's tons of puzzles that are wonderful. I absolutely loved them. Like I said, there was only one that I had to look a video up and see how to actually beat it, because up until now, I don't even know how it is that you can actually pass that little puzzle part. But the rest of them, I kind of I was scatterbrained. I was like, wow, I don't know how to solve this puzzle. But that was good. That was absolutely wonderful because it had to make me think outside the box and say, oh, okay, now I get it. And when it clicks, it absolutely clicks. Wonderful gameplay mechanics there. Now, if you have a smaller gamer, you might be thinking about actually letting them play this game, which is not a bad thing. But I will let you know that for smaller gamers, little ones, I think you might want to actually be present in the game, in the game room with them or with them in the room wherever they're playing it, because they will probably need a little bit of help with your puzzles. And then also there are some slightly frightening scenes and characters that come about. I was actually, because I was so invested in this actual game that I absolutely loved it. I was invested in this and I was like, oh, I had little jump scares here and there with some of the characters. But overall, I mean, oh my goodness, there is no combat. Let me tell you that right now. There is no jumping. And that's what adds to the gameplay mechanics as far as the puzzles are and stuff like that. So some of the negatives about the game, like I was saying, is that the narration is nothing to do with the narrator. It's the game itself, the mechanic, the engine, the way it loads in her dialogue. It sometimes clips over each other, so when she's in the middle of a sentence, it cuts her off and sends in the next sentence. That's one of the things. And then there's it's not really optimized very well. When you're you go and put your arm around this person that has lost their way on this journey, it's not optimized where it just glitches and slows down, and then when it's loading, it's just having a really hard time with the engine trying to get that loaded. So that's one thing that I'm keeping in mind in the back of my mind when I'm playing this. I'm like, No Man's Sky, that wasn't a good game. But guys, Hello Games, if you ever watch this video, I want to say that you guys have done an absolutely spectacular job with this. A 9 out of 10, in my opinion. But it's not going to say, I'm not like most gamers. I'm not going to say, hey, you've won a little bit of good, good publicity with me. I'm still going to say I'm going to be very hesitant. But what you guys have here is absolutely spectacular. Ember, in my opinion, like I said, is an iconic character. Not just in PlayStation, but in gaming. And if you guys come up with a second one, I will be all over that, playing that. I would like to see it doubled in size. So from 6 to 7 hours, let's get up to like a 20-hour game. And I would let you charge $29, $34 for those kind of games. Because this is something that I absolutely love. The puzzles were great. I was racking my brain trying to find out, what am I supposed to be doing here? What am I supposed to go next? But I absolutely loved it. I did get a little frustrated, like I said, but I found my way, and I was like, now I get it. And the light bulb went off. I'm like, that's how it's done. So absolutely spectacular. Visually speaking, beautiful, beautiful environments. Everything just comes together to immerse you in this game. And that's why I was so lost in my journey with Ember here in the Last Campfire. Beautifully told stories. You're rescuing your friends and you're bringing them along with you. And oh man, it's just, like I said, this is the first game that I platinumed, and I had to say that it was well worth it. I didn't want the journey to end. I wanted to keep picking up. When I was recording every single video, I was recording at least an hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 45 minutes, because I just did not want to let go of this game. I didn't want it to end. So it's just beautiful. I'm looking at some of the footage right now where I'm running, and I'm like, well, I don't know if there's something in these bushes that I can find. And here in the very first parts, you're kind of getting scared by things that are in the forest. So that kind of adds to a little bit of the frightening scenes that I was saying. If a little gamer actually gets a hold of this game, I was running in the bushes, seeing if there's anything there that I can grab. So it's just wonderful the way he moves, the way his cloth moves on his body, the way the bag flutters around. And even in one scene later on in the game, I noticed that the buckle for the actual bag was actually just kind of dangling there. Attention to detail, absolutely spectacular. The little bag just flops everywhere as it's bouncing off his body and stuff. So this is a great game, guys. So what else can I say? If you're open-minded, if you like these kind of games, if you like different, not just AAA titles, but you're open to playing something else that is cerebral, it really challenges you sometimes in the mental aspect, and it tells a story where you start feeling the feelings of those people. This is a game for you. You need to check it out. I believe it's anywhere from $14.99 to $16.99, and it's well worth it in my opinion. I wanted to end a little bit differently because I wanted the game to keep going on, but it was a wonderful way to end the game. I put my controller down and I just sat there and thought about it. I was like, wow, this was a fabulous, absolutely fabulous adventure. And I put my controller down. I sat there thinking, I was like, wow, that is definitely game design, character design, story development, all fabulously done. and I did not want the game to end. I was disappointed, and I was kind of disappointed with the platinum that I got because all you have to do is finish the game to get the platinum. I got these little these you have to find these little scraps of paper hidden away, and then like these pillars and boxes and stuff like that. I only had 37 out of the possible 42, so I was missing 5 of them. That's why I was like, I need to go back and, there was one place where I didn't know where I was supposed to go. So that's another little thing that I got kind of sidetracked. I was like, I don't know which way I'm going to go. And I advanced the game without knowing, so I wanted to go back and get the other journal entries because I was trying to get that platinum. But guys, I sat my controller down. I looked in amazement. I was lost for words, and I'm like, wow. I love this adventure. I love the lighting. I love the mood, the atmosphere, the characters, the world. I did not want it to end. I wanted to keep going on with my little friends, fighting them, consoling them, hoping that they're doing okay. So guys, that was my review on The Last Campfire. Ember is one of my new favorite characters of all time. I love the narrator. I love the environment. I love the sound design and the mechanics. There were a couple of times when you get another little tool where you can actually. I kind of wish you could use the tools a little bit more often. It's so cool. Ember would actually. It had this little animation where you open up the menu to get into your bag, and he's like looking inside his bag, like, oh, what do I have? It's so cool. Attention to detail was absolutely spot on in this game. Hello Games, you guys have, I tilt my hat to you guys. You guys done a wonderful job. Keep it up. Please don't repeat anything that you did with No Man's Sky and all that. But yes, this is a game that I highly recommend everyone playing at least once. You're not going to go wrong. Yes, you do have to like smaller characters. You got to love the stories. You got to love puzzles. And this is going to be a game that will send you and just say, hey, you know what? This is a great little adventure. Guys, 9 out of 10 for me on this one. My first platinum game. It was awesome. I didn't want this adventure to end. I was playing Windbound and Crystal Chronicles, the remaster. But out of the 3, this is definitely my top pick. But there it is, guys. Beautiful mastery of elements of game design mechanic. I tip my hat to you guys. Wonderful. You need to check this game out for yourselves. And yeah, there it is. There's my review for The Last Campfire. A 9 out of 10. Could have been a 10 out of 10. But, if it wasn't for those little mechanics where to pop in and the optimization where you're trying to load into one of the memories of the people, that would have been different and it would have been spot on for me. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Yeah, this is, like I said, spot on. Wonderful game for me. And I'm Light for God. I will see you guys. I'm going to sign out now. I will see you when I see you.
There is a place where the lost embers go as their light begins to fade.